10 starten wir jetzt die zweite Session und die Bahn wird jetzt geschlossen. Also bitte verlasst die Bahn, track is closed und in 10 Minuten beginnen wir mit dem Nachmittagsprogramm. Um 14 Uhr geht's los mit den 800 Meter Läufen der Männerklasse 34 und um 14:15 Uhr geht es dann weiter mit dem Kugelstoß der Männer. In der Klasse 54, 52, 55 und 57. Das sind dann die ganz starken Männer, die Kugelstoßen im Einsatz. Das Programm heute Nachmittag, viele Rennen auf der Bahn, 800 Meter und 100 Meter Läufe, wie auch technische Disziplinen, schon erwähnt, Kugelstoßen, diverse Kategorien und um 16:25 Uhr nochmals das Weitspringen mit den Männern in den Klassen 47, 61, 13 und auch 63. Es ist dann gerichtet, wir freuen uns auf die Nachmittagssession und wir wünschen allen Athletinnen und Athleten selbstverständlich einen erfolgreichen Weg. Next start in 10 minutes at 100 meters category 3. 34 Hits, Leute, Villa, Bell Rollins, Henry Mami, Akrit Navas und Skill Herr.
Kelly, yes, how was Michael to start? I'll show you. Well, no, I need to go down to the shop. How to take this way to the shop? I've got both hit. Oh, yeah. And Marco, you did oil shop? I did. Yeah. So you like this? I say play, then I make break. He uses everything. I said prepare his blocks, and then a lot of nothing, so you can move it. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that was not a big thing because they were waiting. Yeah. There was something wrong, so our video and video and video. It looked extra. Huh? It looked extra. Oh. No, this way. Get up on Prix and come in from the back door. The trail to the right. Yeah. So we have a gate and then the...
Well, the two in the same race.
Yeah.
The weather is changing.
Yeah, you can feel it. We were warm. Rain jacket, rain I have a whole tub full of rain here. And I've collected. I've got ponchos and rain jackets and you never know. Like every other year it goes heat or storm. And one year, after the morning rain, we had the discus stream was completely full and flooded around it. Play the video, and then you can touch it and make it bigger. Yes, that's why I say I must practice with it. Yeah. And does yours have the design? No, it's just your video. At the moment, no design anymore. Yeah. I think it's slightly better than we saw him in the film. I agree.
Did you write down already for the guy from Mauritius?
Mauritius? I don't hear it.
Guy from Mauritius.
Yeah? That's the good
54, 54.
Yeah, he's coming now.
Did you check the special recommendations for Paralympics?
I didn't see it. No longer in the room.
Success isn't just about what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do. Live your version of freedom of movement. We support paraplegics for a lifetime.
Mut heißt aufstehen, wieder aufstehen. Mut heißt abfahren, auf was man will, auf wen man will und wie man will. Mut heißt vertrauen und verzeihen, Pläne machen und bloß nichts machen, nur weil andere es von dir erwarten. Mut heißt mal gewinnen und mal verlieren, aber niemals den Mut. Mut heißt machen. Allianz.
Flow, das beglückende Gefühl restloser Fokussierung. Focus Water. Find your flow.
Nach all dieser Zeit, nach all diesen schönen Erlebnissen soll ich jetzt einfach gehen.
Herr Schneider,
Jetzt habe ich doch gerade die Weiterbildung gemacht.
Ihren Schlüssel bitte.
Wie lange bin ich jetzt schon bei Ihnen?
Seit 3 Tagen.
Freiwillig geht bei uns keiner gerne. Campus Sursee, das größte Seminarhotel der Schweiz.
Buchen Sie doch das nächste Mal auch noch das Wochenende. Hm?
Could be different.
There's not a problem? I'm just curious.
No, I know, because of the experience in Italy. It's according to disability. It's according, and then they have special advices. And then it's going to the legally body.
Die erste Serie auf 800 Meter ist bereits mit Waldkühler aus Tunesien auf Ball 4. Medaillenrang, Kampf Hennemann aus Finnland, Ahmed Navas aus den Emiraten auf Ball 6 und Eskil Hermann, der Athlet von Zentralschweiz auf Ball 7. So werden sie also auf dieses erste Rennen für die 800 Meter Strecke starten. 2 Runden wird es zu absolvieren. Jetzt natürlich den großen Favorit Waldkühler aus Tunesien. Achtung, Start! 800 Meter und damit Start zur Nachmittagssession.
Welcome back, everybody. This is day 1 of the Para-Athletics Grand Prix here from Nottwil. You join us ahead of the afternoon session where we get underway with the first of our 800-meter races. We've got 5 on the track, all in the T54 classification. From Tunisia, Walid Katila, Great Britain's Ben Rowlings, Finland's Henry Mani, from the UAE, Ahmed Nawad. And the white flag's gone up to show that everybody has got in to that inside lane nice and early. So 800 metres, 2 laps of the track. So they hear the bell for the final lap. And Ben Rowlings of Great Britain has got some catching up to do. There is Walid Katila of Tunisia, way out in front there. It's going to be a race for second place unless something serious happens. Those 3 in the slipstream of one another. So Rowlings now around the outside as the final athlete, Eskil Hermann of RC Central Schweiz, finishes his first lap. That's the battle for second place. Ben Rowlings starting to come through now, moving from 4th into 2nd. But Katila in a class of his own. He's going to take the opening race of this afternoon session. He wins it. And it will be Rowlings who comes home in second place. A great second lap for him. Started it in 4th, but then overcame Nawad and Mani. So 4 of the 5 over the finish line. Eskil Hermann, the youngster from Central Schweiz, will finish in 5th place. Say youngster, currently 14 years of age.
They look alike.
So he's another of these athletes given the opportunity to compete with the very best. We've got plenty of athletes here today who'll be, well, who've already got World and Paralympic medals, and we'll be hoping to add to those when we head to Tokyo in a couple of months' time. But Eskil Hermann, thumbs up, and he is the final man to finish. So all 5 safely across the line, and the afternoon session is officially underway. Welcome back, everyone, for those of you who are watching this morning. Delighted you could join us as we see a replay of Walid Katila just taking it out. What about that second 400, though, from Ben Rowlings? Just tucked himself in behind that group. But once he got boxed in, there was no way he could catch Katila. What a race from him. 800 metres out there on his own. Takes the victory here in Nottwil. So that's the first of 12 800-metre races we've got to look forward to this afternoon. We finish the day with the hundreds, then come back and do it all again tomorrow. 2 heats of T53 races to come next. Just the 3 going in the first. 2 of them Mexicans, Marco Antonio Caballero Padilla and Mativos Russom from Basel. The other Mexican, Jose Alan Frias Moreno. Again, Mathios Rousson from Basel, the local Swiss athlete, 17 years of age.
Yes, 150. That's it. Blue jersey and black helmet.
So T53, also wheelchair racing. I believe one of the all-time greats, Tanny Gray-Thompson, was a T53. And here come the three. As I said, two Mexicans, Jose Alan Frias Moreno and Marco Antonio Caballero Padilla. And they'll be accompanied by the young Swiss, Mathios Rousson. And everyone remember, if you do want to check up on the results from all of the track and field events today, then you need to head over to the official website. Simply Google search Para-Athletics Grand Prix Nottwil and it'll take you through the system. So in lane 3 here, Jose Alan Frias Moreno of Mexico. In the middle, in lane 4, his compatriot, Marco Antonio Caballero Padilla. And then on the outside, with number 5 on his helmet, Mathios Rousson from RC Beda Basel. And away we go. So just some recognisable things then, because they're all in black, so as they break up, it might be a little bit more difficult to separate them. Jose Alan Frias Moreno, number 160 there, he's got that high-vis chair then. Marco Antonio Caballero Padilla, he's out there in front, and then behind him we've got Mathios Rousson. He's got that orangey-red streak on his helmet. But judging by the start, Caballero Padilla is looking to gap the rest of the field, so distinguishing them in a group might not be something we have to consider. So it is Mexico, from Switzerland. Marco Antonio Caballero Padilla will lead at the halfway point as we listen out for the bell. Then in behind him, Jose Alan Frias Moreno. And then Mathios Rousson doing his very best to stick on that wheel. Sometimes helps when you really need to dig in. Just keep the man in front of you in your sight as Caballero Padilla back in those arms as he turns around what will ultimately be the final bend. It's been a flawless performance from him. He's still extending his lead. Is Marco Antonio Caballero Padilla over his countryman, his compatriot Jose Alan Frias Moreno. But he's into the final straight. And this is a good turnaround, a race for second place between Frias Moreno and Rousson. Rousson has overtaken the Mexican, but it will be Caballero Padilla who takes the win. And in an excellent second 400 meters, Mathios Rousson of Basel comes home ahead of Jose Alan Frias Moreno. So it's Mexico, Switzerland, Mexico. But Caballero Padilla takes the win.
And I would like to see the coast. Do you think it's good to find coast, or is it better to
A replay of that race then. The victory for Marco Antonio Caballero Padilla. That was effectively heat 1 of the T53 competition here in the men's 800 metres. A full track for the next race. Representatives from Canada, Japan, Russia, France, United States of America. And some familiar names as well. People who've already gone in the 200 metres. Very often these wheelchair racers, very versatile. So that is who will be racing, and this is the order they'll be racing in. Ben Brown in lane 1. Junhiro Michi in lane 2, Brent Lakatos of Canada in 3, from Russia in lane 4, Vitaly Gritsenko. The Frenchman in lane 5 is Nicolas Brignone, and then 2 Americans in lane 6 and 7, Josh George and Brian Simon. Finally, in lane 8, from Japan, Hitoshi Matsunaga. Just a reminder, no multi-classifications in this particular race. Everyone in the T53, so the first over the finish line will be the winner. We then move on to 2 heats, 3 heats, 4 heats, 5, 6 heats of T54 racing. That, a highly competitive classification. But next up, the men you can see on your screen, it's race 17 of the day. If you're just tuning in live, you're wondering what happened this morning. It was all 200-metre races. They'll all be available on catch-up. So if you missed those, obviously wait till this 800-metre session is finished, but then check back in for some great action. There's Brian Seaman of the USA zooming through into lane 7, and Hitoshi Matsunaga in the green sleeves there in lane 8. On the inside then, that's Ben Brown of Canada in the red vest. It's USA's Joshua George. That curly hair poking through. Difficult to know these days whether that is stylistic or just a result of the lockdown. Brent Lakatos, Vitaly Gritsenko, Nicolas Brignone in the middle. A good start, so important in a competitive field like this. T53, 800 metres. Very quick out of the blocks there from Joshua George from the United States of America, but in lane 3, Brent Lakatos has flown out. He's looking to get into the back straight nice and quickly, which is exactly what he's done. Brent Lakatos putting a huge gap between him and the rest of the field. Now, will he be able to keep it up? But it's already looking like a race for second place as Brent Lakatos goes round the second bend. He's got his supporters club with him here as well. There's a race for second and third, then everyone else appears to be competing for fourth as Brent Lakatos will hear the bell first. And that's the gap between second and third. But Lakatos there showing absolutely no sign of slowing up. He's going to be the man to beat here in this T53 race. That's second place and third place at the top of your screen, but Brent Lakatos already in the home straight. Plenty of love for Lakatos in the crowd as well. Of course, the crowd mainly just officials, but there could be a race for second place here, so Lakatos takes it. But keep your eye on the finish line. And that is an excellent finish from Nicolas Brignone in lane 5, who takes it home in the final phases of the race to get himself a top 2 finish. So it is Lakatos from Brignon in the heats of the T53.
Bringt Lakatos mit einer großartigen Leistung, eine Performance, die sich sehen lässt. Wir review und exception, sehr gerne die offizielle Zeit.
A replay of this, again, marvellous performance. From Lakatos, just took it away from the very, very beginning. Ben Brown, the Canadian, had a good start, tried to stay on the wheel, but eventually he got reeled in. No question about you, Victor, there. Brent Lakatos. Look at the gap. Still waiting, still waiting, still waiting. Now second, third and fourth come through. Great performance from the Canadian. Still great conditions for racing here at Nottwil. A few more clouds in the sky, but light and fluffy, and just add to this beautiful scenery here in central Switzerland. Next up, the first of the heats in the T54, Cyril Schäuber and Demba Jaju, Switzerland and Gambia represented here. Cyril Schäuber from Central Schweiz, the local club. What a place to train and compete as well. Those flat fields, the rolling hills, beautiful greenery. And as we're halfway through May, the weather just starting to turn as well. I'm lucky, we're lucky it's like that in Switzerland, because around the rest of Europe it's not been great. I know they've been having storms, rain, wind and hailstones in the United Kingdom. Even snow in northern parts as well. Thankfully, that weather hasn't translated over into mainland Europe, and they've got these great conditions for para-athletics, and hopefully for the athletes in terms of their performance, and for you watching at home, for your enjoyment, the conditions remain the same. So we're awaiting the next race, race 18 of the day. And away we go. That's Cyril Schäuber of Central Schweiz. There is no Demba Jaju. So Cyril Schäuber is out there on his own. Now, this is so difficult because these athletes will train and train and train. They'll know exactly what their targets are going into these competitions. They'll know their personal bests. They'll know their cadence. But when you're an athlete, so much of it is racer's instinct. Getting on the wheel of the athlete in front of you, trying to pull away from the athlete behind, trying to position yourself well so you can finish strong. But in this instance, Cyril Schäuber is out there completing his 2 laps alone. It's not just track, we've got a full schedule of field events today as well. And that was a quick look at the shot put there. Ahmed Al-Hassani getting strapped in and ready for his attempts. Now Cyril Schäuber is on the home straight for the first time. He'll hear the bell this time. "24 years of age, just turned 24 about a month ago actually. set the benchmark time as the clock ticks towards 1 minute 45 for Schäuber, who's on the back straight of his final lap in the men's T54 800 metres. Still another T54, another 3 T54 rounds to come after this as well. More popular classification than many, but until at least the next heat, they will all be chasing down the time of Cyril Schäuber. 2:20 on the clock so far. As he's round his final bend, this is where it really starts to hurt. The 800 metres in wheelchair racing, a lot more like a sprint. So that shot put competition is underway over there in the infield. So home straight then for Cyril Schäuber. We expect there to be slightly quicker times. He's been out there, had the track to himself. Millionaires racing for Cyril Schäuber. And the racer from Central Schweiz will stop the clock in 2:59.69. Next racing, it is time to hear from one of the competitors here, Beat Busch.
Ja, Beat Busch, 31,76 deine Zeit am heutigen Morgen. Wie bist du zufrieden mit dem Einstand, sage ich jetzt einmal, in dieser Saison?
Mit dem Einstand war es eigentlich wirklich ein tiptops Rennen gewesen, so wie ich mir das gewünscht habe. Wir hatten gerade ein bisschen Wetterglück heute Morgen, eben, dass es trocken geblieben ist, oder auch jetzt immer noch. Und, ja, es ist wirklich, die Saison hat gut angefangen mit dem heutigen Rennen. Was ist das für ein Gefühl, dass ihr jetzt endlich wieder mal, ich könnte ja auf die Bahn hier, aber jetzt endlich mal unter Wettkampfbedingungen? Es ist natürlich ganz eine andere Atmosphäre. Start, oder? Man kann nicht einfach den Start fahren. Es ist wirklich aber auch ein tolles Gefühl, mal wieder alle anderen Sportler zu sehen, wo man jetzt eigentlich so 1,5–2 Jahre nicht mehr gesehen hat. Und ja, sich mit denen auch wieder mal zu messen und schauen, wie weit die gekommen sind. Eben, richtig im Rennen ist man eigentlich noch immer dann, wenn man auch Konkurrenz hat und dann sieht man auch, wo man wieder steht. Apropos Konkurrenz, aber das ist ja sicher wieder ein neues Gefühl. Du mit deiner Routine, aber bist du gleich ein bisschen nervös gewesen, dass endlich wieder mal ein Rennen ist und dann auch noch das Nottwil? Ja, tatsächlich. Trotzdem, als ich schon mehr als 20 Jahre dabei bin ich wirklich nervös gewesen, weil eben schon länger kein Rennen mehr hatte, schon länger nicht mehr mit den anderen zusammen. Ja, meine eigene Leistung hat mich halt auch, mir das Beste zeigen und es ist ja, immer eine Herausforderung und dann, ich glaube, es braucht auch eine gewisse Nervosität, dass man auch nachher etwas zeigen kann. Sonst wäre es auch kein richtiges Rennen mehr oder hat keinen Stellenwert mehr. Und es ist ja eine besondere Saison im Hinblick auf Tokio, für euch auch jetzt und so. Das schwirrt natürlich schon im Hinterkopf und immer noch mit dem Gedanken, ja, ist es denn oder ist es überhaupt nicht? Und so. Das ist noch schwierig für euch. Ja, es ist wirklich nicht ganz einfach. Obwohl eben, es gibt eigentlich, solange es nicht abgesehen ist, gibt es nichts anderes, als sich so vorzubereiten, wie man sich für eine Olympiade vorbereitet. Und wenn es dann nicht sein sollte, ja, dann muss man es akzeptieren und halt, ja, 2-3 Mal leer schlucken, aber ja, ich hoffe natürlich sehr, dass es auch durchgeführt wird, dass sich auch der Aufwand lohnt und dass man an den Start gehen kann, oder? Wenn es auch ohne Zuschauer wird sein, aber es wird sicher ein sportliches Highlight sein, aber wenn es durchgeführt wird.
Darum für dich auch sicher eine Art wie die Hauptprobe. Eben. Wir haben noch 3 Tage jetzt hier in Nottwil. Wie sieht dein Programm aus? Was machst du alles?
Ich hatte jetzt eben heute 200 Meter Rennen gehabt, morgen habe ich den 100er und am Sonntag den 400er. Und die 100er und 400er sind eigentlich ein bisschen entscheidender, weil das sind eigentlich auch die olympischen Disziplinen, die ich fahren würde, oder dann Anfang Juni an der Europameisterschaft in Polen, also ich auch über die an den Start gehe. Also ja, das ist das, was ich eigentlich auch als Hauptaugenmerk getroffen habe, wo ich auch mein Training ausgelegt habe. Heute war ein guter Einstieg, eben der 200 Meter ist etwas zwischendrin und ja, jetzt kann es weitergehen.
Du hast gemerkt, dass die Form stimmt, du bist bereit, jetzt ist die Anfangsnervosität weg. Was kann man von dir erwarten jetzt bei diesen 2 Rennen? Was hast du selber für eine Zielsetzung gegeben?
Natürlich immer so gut wie möglich, aber eben, ich glaube, ich muss mich nach meiner Zeit richten, die ich eigentlich gerne erreichen oder die ich fahren will. Aber ich kann jetzt nicht rangmässig etwas mich einschätzen, da ich jetzt eben die anderen wirklich auch schon länger nicht mehr gesehen habe oder nicht genau weiss, wo sie stehen. Ich lasse auf mich zukommen und wie weiter vorne, wie besser.
Sehr gut, danke vielmals, Bea Bösch. Wir reden dann morgen natürlich wieder miteinander und hoffen, wir können dann gratulieren zu einem weiteren Sieg. Merci vielmals.
Herzlichen Dank, merci auch. Es ist so komisch, wenn du da stehst.
Ja, ich habe es gerade gemerkt, ich muss dich durchgehen.
Ja, unbedingt.
Ja. Sorry, das ist mein Fehler. Das ist ja das improvisiert, man es wäre da auch ein Kameramann da.
Ja, weißt du, wir schauen ja schon nicht.
Bad boys there, always great to hear from the athletes. But now the racing must continue. You can hear the bell. So it'll be the final lap for all of these athletes. And this is Silvan Siegenthaler. I do apologise. It is Gonzalo Gonzalez from Mexico leading us home. And there is your winner. Gonzalo Gonzalez takes it home in 1:54.67. So that the new benchmark time. He'll have overtaken Cyril Schäuber at the top of the tree. Still more T54 racing to come as Dario Studer of Solothurn from Switzerland. He's the latest to stop the clock. And there's Malang Tamba from Gambia. Finishes his race as well, 2:31.36 for the Gambian 800-meter athlete. Confirmation then, Gonzalo Gonzalez of Mexico is your winner of the second heat, 1:54.76. That's the new benchmark time that they'll have to beat if they want to win the 254 championship here in Nottwil. Still 3 heats of 800 metres to come though in the T54 classification before we move on to the women's T34 that includes the great Hannah Cockcroft of Great Britain. The next heat of the T54 then. Again, a full track. In lane 1 will be Gabriel Emanuel Sosa of Argentina, fellow South American Alfonso Zaragoza is in lane 2. From Japan, Hiroki Kishizawa in 3. The Austrian Ludwig Malta in 4. From Mauritius, Cedric Rave goes in 5. Alejandro Maldonado of Argentina in 6. Juan Pablo Cervantes Garcia of Mexico in 7. And the third Mexican, Pedro Gandaria, goes in lane 8. Although it's terribly quiet out there at the moment. Here come the athletes. Have to go all the way around that bend to get themselves into position. Such are the logistics of doing a para-athletics meet as well. They really do a fantastic job to make sure that this runs to schedule as the shot put competition continues. Again, if you're new to para sports, then in a lot of these throwing competitions, the club throw, the shot put, etc., the athletes will do each of their turns one after another because of the time it takes to strap into the requisite device to get the competition underway. For one person to have a go, then another, would quite simply take too long, as we see Cedric Rave of Mauritius. Steely look of concentration on his face. That's Hiroko Kishizawa, Japanese athlete. 24 years of age. He'll go in lane 3 with Alfonso Zaragoza to his left and Ludwig Malta to his right. Pedro Gandaria, the last into the blocks. He's difficult to miss in that pink jersey. And the green helmet too. God, some combo that is. I'm here for it, Pedro. You look fantastic. Alejandro Maldonado in the blue and white of Argentina finally takes his place in lane 6 as well. There's Ludwig Malta, all in black, but no eyewear. Good start there from Cervantes Garcia, the Mexican, in lane 7, already gaining on Gandaria. But how about this from Gabriel Sosa? Well, he looked like he was going well on the inside, but once again, we have had an athlete absolutely fly out of the blocks. And now as they all guide themselves into lane 1, there's going to be a big group behind, which really, really suits in this 800-meter format. If you can get out and get clear of that group and not get boxed in, then you can just continue to pull away and away and away, and everyone else has got to play catch-up as Gandaria takes the long way around the outside, but he'll be frustrated that he's this far behind. In fact, he's only managed to get himself into 4th place. But it is Juan Pablo Cervantes Garcia. He's the man to catch, and they're really going to struggle to catch him. In the orange jersey, Cedric Rave of Mauritius attempting to make a move on the outside. Alejandro Maldonado of Argentina has been cut off from the rest of the pack. But Juan Pablo Cervantes Garcia really going to take some catching. Cedric Rave is going to give it a good go, though. What about this? The man from Mauritius has reeled in the leader, and we're going to have a race down the final straight. Cervantes Garcia has run out of steam, and Cedric Rave is going to take the win. Well, that is a fabulous race. The man from Mauritius, the 34-year-old, has timed that to perfection. Alfonso Zaragoza finished well, but it looked for 700 meters like Juan Pablo Cervantes Garcia was going to come home in the easiest of victories, but no, said Cedric Gravet. Big, powerful upper body. Took him a little while to get his speed up, but when he did, he made it count. And the win goes to the man from Mauritius. So we continue with the T54 800 meters. In lane 1 from Netherlands, Rens van de Waterlaat. From Brazil, Carlos Pierre Silva de Jesus, David Weir. Paralympic gold medalist from Great Britain goes in 3. Sho Watanabe of Japan in 4. Leo Pekka-Tati of Finland in 5. He had a great 200 meters earlier. The Russian Alexei Bichenok goes in lane 6. From Great Britain, Dylan Labroy in 7. And Faisal Al-Rajehi of Kuwait goes in 8. David Weir, all in black, not in those Great Britain colours today. Legend of the sport in many ways. There's Watanabe of Japan. But the camera's trained on David Weir. Those heavily tattooed arms, absolute powerhouses. Phenomenal racer. Get away first time, and Carlos Pierre Silva de Jesus from Brazil has had a very sharp start, as has Rens van de Waterlaat in lane 1. In fact, it is van de Waterlaat who's going to get ahead of the group and take advantage of being on that inside lane, the lane that everyone will be aiming for eventually. David Weir, all in black, he's taken a position on the outside. You need to be careful not to get boxed in here, but this is the first 800 meter race that has kind of looked like a traditional race. Now, Dylan Lebroy has got himself in a bit of trouble because his wheel's on the inside, so if he's going to make a move, he's going to have to slow down, clear that wheel, then come around the outside. The rest of the group happy in behind van de Waterlaat. I've got a feeling we're going to be in for a grandstand finish here. So that's the bell. Weir perching himself for a move on the outside wheel of van de Waterlaat. Big move from Sho Watanabe. expected as well. He's looking to slipstream Weir, who's now putting the hammer down. Got himself into first place for the first time. Sho Watanabe in the blue and orange jersey has put himself into second as Van der Waterlat, the pacemaker in the first lap, has managed to slip down now into fourth, perhaps even fifth place. But this one going down to the final straight. It is Weir from Watanabe. And a move coming around the outside from Alexei Bichenok, the Russian as well. This is going to be the closest race, probably the best race of the day so far, but Weir takes it from Bichenok, from Watanabe. It is Great Britain, Russia, Japan, 1, 2, 3. Great finish there from Bichenok to secure second place. Watanabe getting himself in the top three, but David Weir paced that one perfectly. Sat in behind Van der Waterlat, made sure he didn't get boxed in, and then with 300 meters to go, took it home.
Ganz große Namen erwarten wir hier der nächsten Sendung. Da werden wir auch von Hans Joshua Kessel, Julien Gasol, der Franzosen, Marcelo, der Zentralschutz, Richard Chigasaro, und was für ein Fett. Hier haben wir mehrere Weltmeister, ehemalige Weltrekordhalter, der aktuelle Weltrekordhalter.
The action continues here. Another stacked starting list. Joshua Cassidy of Canada in lane 1, Julien Cassoli of France in 2, Daniel Romanchuk, United States of America in 3. From Zentralsweiz, the local club, Marcel Hug goes in 4. Richard Chiesaro of Great Britain in 5. Nathan Maguire, his international teammate, in 6. Al-Hassane Balder of Germany in 7. And Kenny van Wiegel of the Netherlands goes in lane 8. This is the final of the T54. 800 meters for men. Then we move into the women. So the first group in place. In lane 4 there, in the red, that is Marcel Hug. Inside him, look at that mirrored helmet. Love that, Marcel. Richard Chiesaro of Great Britain in the black. It's the Frenchman in blue there, Julien Cassoli. Joshua Cassidy in the vest. Again, big fan. The sun's shining, why not enjoy it? So a full house. Cassidy in 1, Cassoli 2, Romanchuk 3, Hug 4, Chiesaro 5, Maguire 6, Balde 7, Van Wiegel in blue in lane 8. That's some real inside lane bolters so far. Romanchuk has had a very, very good start indeed in the red helmet. Daniel Romanchuk is going to lead the group. We've seen a couple of times in these 800 meters somebody go out quickly and then run out of steam. Is Romanchuk going to be that guy? He's going to lead after the first 200 meters. But already there's been a little bit of scrutiny coming on from the outside. That scrutiny coming by way of Alessane Balde. Nathan Maguire as well, with the number 6 on his helmet. Now there are a couple of athletes who've managed to get themselves boxed in. Look at the work that Maguire's got to do though, those extra meters that he's got to take on the outside. Number 119, Nathan Maguire, who's just starting to lose a bit of pace now, as would be expected. You add an extra 20 or 30 meters to an 800 race, and this is what can happen. It's still Daniel Romanchuk of the USA. Nathan Maguire, he slipped right back, and Romanchuk looks like he could well hold on here, leading from start to finish. Julien Cassoli, his nearest competitor. But it is Daniel Romanchuk who takes it ahead of Cassoli. USA 1, France 2. And Romanchuk has led from start to finish, well raced. Had a number of competitors at various times as the air traffic control sends them off with those red flags. Yeah, so what I was saying earlier, we've got some great conditions here, so naturally people will get some sun colour on their face, but they've got to wear face coverings all day. Are we going to see some of the fabled face covering tans? As we see a replay of this, the final of the men's T54 races. Watch Romanchuk, led from the very beginning. The early pressure coming from Nathan Maguire. He ran out of steam on the outside. It's a long time to be on the outside. Somebody who looks so relaxed. Look at the effort that Maguire's putting in there compared to Romanchuk just to stay on the wheel. And Romanchuk holds on ahead of Cassoli. So now we begin the women's 800 metre races, 4 in total. This first race, the T34 classification. So no multi-classification, they're all racing against each other. Joyce Lefebvre and Cécile Gons of Belgium and Hannah Cockcroft of Great Britain. Shot book competition continues in the middle of the track. That's Aristanbek Barazakulov from Kyrgyzstan. 2 Kyrgyzstan athletes. Him and Adalet Kamchibekov. Then Ahmed Al-Mazmi and Mohammed Al-Blushi from UAE. And also Ahmed Al-Hossani as well. So Al-Hossani and Al-Mazi in the F34. And Bazarkulov, Kamchibekov and Al-Blushi all in the F34 classifications. So a 1-2 and a 1-2-3 available there.
Yeah, I think the rain is coming. Hannah is in lane 3? She should be in lane 3.
So Cécile Gons, the youngster from Belgium, getting some final conversations. Joyce Lefebvre said something to make her smile. What an opportunity for the likes of Cécile to race against Hannah Cockcroft, Paralympic gold medalist. But it's the same track they're all going to have to do 2 laps of. So Joyce powers away very well. Cecile, a little bit slow, but of course a little bit younger as well. That power comes with experience, and there aren't many more experienced than Hannah Cockcroft. Might be a less deep field than she's used to competing against at World and Paralympic Games, but these top athletes have very few opportunities left to really put a marker down ahead of that blue ribboned event at the Tokyo Paralympic Games. So Hannah Cockcroft, no surprise, she's managed to pull away from Joyce Lefebvre, who did get out of the starting blocks well. And let's keep an eye on this clock, on this time. What's it saying? 56.32 as she hears the bell with 400 metres to go. So it will be Cockcroft from Lefebvre, from Cecile Goens. Cockcroft, head down, pushing home. Limited supporters here, of course. It's mainly just the support staff, but still plenty of encouragement for the athletes as we see Joyce Lefebvre pulling away from Cecile Goens. And Goens finally hears the bell for the last lap as Hannah Cockcroft comes into the home straight. Here is Cecile Goens, the penultimate bend for her. That'll take her onto the back straight as the clock ticks past 1:42, 43, 44. But Cockcroft is going to take this one home in a very impressive 1:50.92 for Hannah Cockcroft. And a job well done for the Brit. Here is Joyce Lefebvre. Just the 3 T54 athletes have entered into this race. We move on to T53 and 54 after this as Lefebvre gets home safely. And now we await Cecile Goens. 17 years of age is Cecile, country mate of the woman on your screens there, Joyce Lefebvre. Bangs that wheel back into place, does Cecile. And she finishes it. Oh, she just misses the 3-minute marker. 3 minutes, 0.34. It was quite a sharp start, wasn't it, from Joyce Lefebvre, but Hannah Cockcroft, she just does not waste any energy. So efficient, so powerful. Will it be another golden summer for the Briton? '24th race of the day is, we've got a bit of multi-classification here, T53 and T54, just the one T54 though, Fatou Sané of Gambia All the rest racing in the T53 classification. So in lane 3 will be Chelsea McClammer, USA. Samantha Kinghorn of Great Britain is in lane 4. Catherine De Bruyne of Central Schweiz in Switzerland goes in 5. And Yen Huang of the USA in lane 6. Here they come. Chelsea McClammer there in the blue with the black and white helmet. Catherine De Bruyne in lane 5 in the vest. They're the first to arrive. Here's Samantha Kinghorn with those super fast pink wheels. Whether they are fashion or function, I absolutely love them. Expecting this to be perhaps a little more competitive. Then in lane 6 we've got Yen Huang, USA, in the blue jersey with the white helmet. And no sign yet of Fatou Sané of Gambia. So there is Yen Huang, the American. Big warm welcome to anybody who's joining us from the USA for this live coverage. Thank you for taking the time to support the athletes. Here's Fatou Sané. And remember, we're here for the next, well, 2.5 days, Saturday and Sunday coverage of the Power Athletics Grand Prix. And again, away first time, and it's De Bruyne who gets that front wheel out first. Great start for the local athlete, knows the track well, but already Samantha Kinghorn in that high-vis jersey and the pink wheels attempting to hunt her down. But at the moment, De Bruyne just holding firm, but how much of that is adrenaline, as it is De Bruyne from Kinghorn. Some lovely early exchanges here. Kinghorn just sitting on that wheel, getting herself in the slipstream, saving that energy, and letting Juan Sané and McClammer battle it out for third place. At the moment, it is Chelsea McClammer holding on to third with her countrymate Yen Huang in behind her and Fatou Sané in 5th place. So Catherine De Bruyne of Central Schweiz leads at the halfway point. Samantha Kinghorn in behind, then the two Americas, McClammer from Huang into the back straight. Kinghorn is having a lovely position here, but De Bruyne's doing well just to monopolise that gap between lane 1 and lane 2, forcing Kinghorn really wide if she's going to make a move, but she is going to make a move, and she's going to make it stick all the way out there in lane 3, but just that turn of pace, then the look under the left shoulder as if to say, yeah, Catherine, great race, but not quite great enough. Fatou Sané is about to hear the bell for her final lap, but Samantha Kinghorn is going to take the victory for Great Britain, as Hannah Cockcroft did in the race before. Samantha Kinghorn in a time of 1:49.56. Takes it from De Bruyne, and then Yen Huang of the United States of America finishes in 3rd. But a well-executed 800 there from Samantha Kinghorn. Energy conserved in the first 400, then expelled in the second, and she takes the win here in Nottwil. So Fatou Sané in the T54 classification, still coming towards the end of her race. We've still got 2 800s to go in the T54 classification as well. This one of those multi-classification races, always difficult for the one athlete in their class, but she will set the benchmark time that if they want to win the T54 competition, they will have to beat. Fatou Sané of Gambia. Final few metres for her. She's just going to miss out on that 3:30 barrier and will stop the clock in 3:34.97.
Your records and 0-1 points back.
Well, we're just receiving news, because of course I don't have official timings just like you, that we have had a new European record. So I'll await confirmation of that. But we did say it was great conditions and a fast track.
Sometimes it's day up.
Sorry, but I'm taking the time to pick it up.
That's good. And yours?
It's for free, apparently. So I thought you have to pay for it. But there's no money box.
Oh, the episode. He didn't move anything. He just stood. So, no warm-up? No. He only stood. I'm trying to put that in. Yes, he didn't warm-up. He just stood. Everyone made 3 starts, but he just was standing. Yes, he just stood there.
Oleg.
You have a start with yes on him. I have it. One moment. Oh, no worries. They didn't, not to do the backward swing, but the backward swing, they go right out.
Confirmation, we have had a world record here today. 150.91 is the new T34 800-metre world record set by Hannah Cockcroft. After all these years, she continues to be brilliant, and here she is.
Hannah Cockcroft, congratulations to your incredible race. What did you do? 5 seconds or something like that faster than your world record?
Yeah, I trained very hard in lockdown, spent a lot of time inside in the gym, in my garage, and you know what, it's nice to be back on the track, it's nice to be racing, and I just enjoyed myself.
Well, that was an incredible race. Did you have any other explanations how this could happen? 5 seconds, this is kind of huge.
Good weather, good track, really good crowd, what more can you want?
So this puts you up in a position for Tokyo.
I hope so, maybe. I hope so. I've been training really hard, and it'd be great to get to represent Great Britain again at my 3rd Paralympics. So that's the aim, and yeah, hopefully we can even go quicker.
So how was the feeling to be back on the track again? So it's a season which is nothing like before. So how was the feeling?
Exciting, but I was very nervous. You don't know what work the other girls have done, what training they've done. We haven't seen each other since the World Championships in 2019, so had no idea what to expect from them or myself. So excited, but yeah, very nervous.
Well, sounds perfect. What's your program again here in Nottwil for the next 2 days?
So tomorrow the 100 meters, and then that's me. That's all I've got.
So what can we explain from you? Another world record?
Oh, no pressure, but I hope so. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay, we're kind of looking forward for tomorrow and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. Easy.
Well, what a fantastic performance from Hannah Cockcroft. She said she enjoyed the race and she trained hard during lockdown. Well, if it can take 5 seconds off your personal best, then maybe she'll be the one athlete on the planet who's hoping for more lockdowns. Either way, what a performance. She mentioned herself, great conditions and a great track, but wasn't a competitive race. She was against 2 Belgians, Joyce Lefevre and Cécile Gouin, so she could just go out with no pressure. And that is a stunning 150.91. And well, I think the only thing stopping her from going and representing Great Britain in Tokyo will be injury, because that is absolutely stunning. So good luck, Hannah. Stay fit, stay healthy, and best of luck to you, and of course all of the other athletes who get to represent their country on the highest of all stages. But we continue. This is T54 race over the same distance, 800 meters. Quite a tasty race it is as well. Jenna Fassemeyer, 151.54. I tell you what, the times are coming down pretty low. Fassemeyer takes the win for the USA. And here's Valeria Jara of Argentina. Again, nips in inside 2:18 as well. Decent time for her, 2:17.65. Still one T54 race to come. So a replay of that one there. It was Maria Desirea Perrine of Mauritius in 1, Valeria Jara, Argentina in 2, Alina de Santos Rosso, Brazil in 3, from Solothurn in Switzerland, Lizia Mussinelli in 4, from Mauritius, Maria Alphonse in 5, Lisa Schultes of Solothurn in 6, Jenna Fassemeyer, USA, the eventual winner in 7, and Katrin Koll of Luxembourg in 8. And here was Fassemeyer. Great finish, taking it home with the final few strokes for the win in race 25. Well, before the final race of this 800-metre session, let's hear from another of our brilliant competitors. This is Marcel Hoog.
Ja, Marcel, 1:34,60 in dem ersten Rennen, noch auch für dich ein langer Pass. Wie bist du zufrieden mit dem ersten Auftritt?
Ich glaube, es war eine gute, solide Leistung. Am Anfang hatte ich das Gefühl, ich hatte eine gute Position. Dann ist leider der vor mir ein bisschen langsamer geworden. Ich habe nicht genau gewusst, soll ich jetzt rein oder außen rum. Ich habe mich für außen rum entschieden, für eher die sichere Variante. Dafür habe ich ein bisschen weiteren Weg gehabt und das hat mich dann doch ein bisschen viel gekostet. Am Schluss bin ich dann eher ein bisschen müde geworden und nicht mehr ganz vorgekommen.
Aber das war nicht der Rennplan, das Ganze auf die Aussenbahn zu fahren. Logisch nicht, oder? Innenbahn weniger Meter und schneller.
Genau, natürlich wäre Innenbahn besser. Dafür kann ich relativ lange vom Windschatten profitieren. Aber eben, ich musste dann aussen rum. Wahrscheinlich wäre hinter dem Daniel im Windschatten sicher besser gewesen jetzt im Nachhinein.
Auch für dich eines der ersten Rennen natürlich, wie so das Gefühl, endlich wieder mal auf dieser Bahn zu sein?
Ja, es ist super, wieder mal einen Start zu haben auf internationalem Niveau. Ja, bin sehr froh und sehr dankbar, dass wir die Event durchführen können. Die Anspannung war sicher recht gross am Anfang, nach so langer Zeit wieder mal einen Start zu haben.
Du hast ja noch das Programm hier, jetzt noch, es kommen das eine oder andere. Was hast du noch vorgenommen? Wie sieht so die Zielsetzung aus?
Ja, jetzt sicher der 1500er und 5000 Meter. Eher ein bisschen längere Distanzen, je länger, desto besser eigentlich für mich. Ja, es ist immer noch eine sehr gute, wichtige Standortbestimmung für mich, um zu schauen, wo stehe ich. Jetzt haben wir mal einen ersten Eindruck gehabt. Ich denke, gegen den Daniel, der jetzt gewonnen hat heute, ja, wird eine grosse Herausforderung für uns alle, zumindest schlagen. Da müssen wir uns etwas einfallen.
Okay, wunderbar. Merci vielmals, Marcel. Viel Glück in den restlichen Rennen.
Merci vielmals.
So Marcel Hug, just in time for the final race of this 800-metre session. We've got Gunilla Wallengren there in lane 7 in those Swedish colours. Outside her, Patricia Ekus of Central Schweiz. Manuela Shah of Central Schweiz white as well. But in lane 4, Tatiana McFadden, legend from the USA, has got off to a great start, as has Manuela Shah of Central Schweiz. It's going to be those two leading it out. Lane 3, it's been pretty hot at the beginning of these 800-metre races, but Tatiana McFadden will take some beating in this, the final race of the T54 800. That is not going to stop the Swiss athlete from having a real go here, though. Again, the advantage of flying out from the start is that you don't get mixed up and messed up, and there's no opportunity to get boxed in, although it has broken up here coming into the home straight for the first time. Bringing up the rear there, Gunilla Wallengren. But the first to hear the bell is Manuela Shah. She's had a brilliant first 500 metres. Now, how much gas is left in the tank? We've seen a few athletes tie up as they've come towards the final 100, but there's some real chasing down to do here. As you can see, Manuela Shah from Central Schweiz, 36 years of age, and she is out there on her own. It was McFadden in second last time we saw, but she was getting mixed up with the rest of the group who were hunting her down. So now surely it's just a race for second place. After a great start in lane 3, Manuela Shah has taken it out. She's being chased down, but no one's going to get anybody near her. Alexandra Helbling, her teammate, has got herself into second, so it's going to be a Central Schweiz 1-2. Then Nikita Den Boer of Netherlands in third spot. What about that performance from Manuela Shah? Comfortable victory, led from the very beginning, and that is a fabulous effort from the local racer. And that concludes the 800 metres. Still plenty of field action as we take a look at the replay of the start. Merlin Menya going well for Germany as well. Just a reminder, you can head over to the official website for results and the schedule for the weekend coming up. And there is your victor, checking over her shoulder to see where everybody is. They're nowhere near you, Manuela. So the next event we move into is the men's 100 metres for T11 and T12 classifications. We'll then move into the T13s before moving to the T35s, 36s. So 4 athletes in this first race. Henri Marianne of Mauritius in lane 1. Marcel Botka, Germany in 3. From Dominican Republic, Richard Gonzalez in 5. And in lane 7, Louis Goncalves. T11 and T12 visually impaired sprinters who need a guide, which is why there's a gap in between the lanes. So those athletes will be on track shortly, and we'll be back as the action continues here on day 1 of Para-Athletics 2021 WPA Grand Prix.
Allen Auftrag, das Equipment umzuziehen zum 100 Meter Start. Um 15:35 Uhr geht es weiter mit dem 100 Meter Start mit den Siegerhinderten in der Klasse 11 und 12. Um 15:35 Uhr geht es nach Port weiter. So, jetzt haben wir auch bereits die offizielle Zeit von Manuela Scher und den weiteren Athletinnen über die 800 Meter Strecke. Manuela Scher in 1:44:39, Susanna Scaroni 1:48:03 und Maria Möller 1:48:89. Manuela Scher, fastest time for the 40. So, yeah.
So in the field, the men's shot put continues. Christian Steven Escobar Biberos of Colombia is the next to go. He is the only man throwing in the F57 classification. Some serious power on these shot put athletes. And everything needs to be secure before they can go. As you can see, the chair ratchet strapped down. Has to be to the specific specifications of each athlete. And what was blue sky is now looking a little bit grey, and those clouds looking ominously dark as well. I hope that's not a bad sign for the weekend. When it's been dry and not breezy, we've had some serious times, including a European record and that world record of Hannah Cockcroft's as well. So with 100 metres still to come, will the weather be coming in? And will Christian Viveros be sat doing his shot put attempts, strapped into that seat when the rain comes, completely helpless? A few final pulls on the ratchet.
listen. Tiens, banco, aquí, Lo que mire, and then you go in.
Well, we always talk about marginal gains in athletics, in any sport, in fact. And Christian Viveros just wants to make sure that everything is perfect. It's quite difficult to get it right with those ratchet straps as well, bearing in mind the pressure has to be equal on each and every one of them, even though they're different lengths. So we'll leave them continue with that. So there'll be a short break before we get on with the 100 meters. That is scheduled to start at 15:35 local time, so in around about 15 minutes.
Success isn't just about what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do. Live your version of freedom of movement. We support paraplegics for a lifetime.
Mut heißt aufstehen, wieder aufstehen. Mut heißt abfahren, auf was man will, auf wen man will und wie man will. Mut heißt vertrauen und verzeihen, Pläne machen und bloß nichts machen, weil andere es von dir erwarten. Mut heißt mal gewinnen und mal verlieren, aber niemals den Mut. Mut heißt machen. Allianz.
Flow, das beglückende Gefühl restloser Fokussierung. Focus Water, find your flow.
Nach all dieser Zeit, nach all diesen schönen Erlebnissen, soll ich jetzt einfach gehen.
Herr Schneider...
Jetzt habe ich doch gerade die Weiterbildung gemacht.
Ihren Schlüssel bitte.
Wie lange bin ich jetzt schon bei Ihnen?
Seit 3 Tagen.
Freiwillig geht bei uns keiner gerne. Campus Sursee, das größte Seminarhotel der Schweiz.
Buchen Sie doch das nächste Mal auch noch das Wochenende. Hm?
And on the track, we've had 200s and 800s. We're going to finish the day with 100s. And hopefully, you're going to join us tomorrow and Sunday as well. If so, we can't wait. But don't go anywhere. Go and get yourself something delicious to eat or drink. And we'll be back with our live coverage of the 100 metres, starting with the T11s and T12s in the men's and taking you all the way through to the T64s in the women's. And that'll begin in about 10 minutes' time. So while we wait for the action to continue, let's hear from another of our athletes. Catherine de Bruyne has been out there today and she's about to tell us all about it.
Ja, Catherine de Bruyne, das erste Rennen hier zu Nottwil. Erzähl mal, was ist für ein Gefühl, jetzt hier endlich wieder mal auf der Bahn zu sein?
Es war ein wunderschönes Gefühl, endlich wieder das Rennfeeling erleben. Es ist sehr lange Zeit her, wo das letzte Mal so eine internationale Besetzung war und ich habe mich riesig gefreut darauf.
Und Nervosität am Anfang, anders als sonst auch?
Ich würde sagen, es war schon ein bisschen mehr als letztes Mal. Wobei, gestern bin ich fast mehr nervös als heute. Heute konnte ich mich dann wirklich beruhigen, ich habe mich gefreut und ja, die Freude hat wie die Nervosität überwogen.
1:51:00, deine Zeit, wie stufst du die ein jetzt?
Ich bin zufrieden mit der Zeit. Ich habe mich in der ersten Runde ein bisschen übernommen. Ich bin jetzt schnell reingegangen, bin dann in der zweiten Runde ein bisschen zusammengefallen. Der Wind war dann auch ein bisschen härter als ich erwartet habe. Aber ich hatte einen Plan, ich habe ihn befolgt und ich bin zufrieden mit dem ersten Rennen.
Apropos Plan, du hast einiges umgestellt, Stichwort Holland. Was ist neu in deiner Arbeit, wie du machst, dein Training und alles?
Ja, ich habe das Training komplett eigentlich auf den Kopf gestellt. Ich habe einen Trainer gewechselt, ich habe nicht mehr den Trainer vor Ort, sondern der im Ausland mich coacht. Das war eine neue Erfahrung. Ich habe auch sonst ein paar Sachen geändert, ich habe die Distanz ein bisschen angepasst, aber ich bin sehr froh um diesen Wechsel.
Wie sieht dein Programm jetzt?
Ich werde mein Bestes geben und bin gespannt, wann ich für Zeiten fahren kann.
Okay, now we're going to ask you some questions in English for our friends over there. Catherine, how was it to be back on the track for the first time for such a long time?
It was a great feeling to be back on the track. I really enjoyed it and I'm really happy for the next couple of days of racing.
So your time 1:51:00, is it satisfied or what did you expect?
It was okay. I wished to be a little bit faster, but for the first race I'm really happy about it.
Okay, thank you very much, Catherine.
Thank you also.
Thank you to Catherine. Thank you for getting a couple of English questions in there as well. Great to have all of the athletes enjoying themselves here, enjoying their racing and coming up with some great performances too. Catherine and co will be back on track the rest of the weekend. As will Hannah Cockcroft. We've already talked about her world record in the 800. She'll be back doing the 100 too.
the rain in the room. The raincoat is in the room. I could not have any explanation about the Russians why he was. No idea. And maybe there were some complaints internally, but I could not have an explanation from the others. I asked the coach. I think we go again around just in front of the red tent at the arrival. I make no notes deciding I don't see any sign of putting him around the 38. So. No, I make no notes deciding.
Well, now the conditions have changed. Those flags in the distance were so still earlier. Now the wind bellows through them. The rain's coming down. What was a beautiful blue and green vista is now various shades of grey here on day one at Nottwil. Alas, we will not let it stop the action, and we still have athletes getting ready to run 100 metres, but now hoods are up. Umbrellas haven't stayed up for long because they've blown away, and the wind and rain are teeming down. Look at the wind rustling through the advertising hoardings, being held down by sandbags. That windsock on the home straight is blowing right in the face of the athletes as well. So those world records that we got in the wheelchair 800 metres will not be bothered here in the 100s, I wouldn't have thought. But still, we've got a good few rounds to go. Athletes on the start line, they're doing what they can to keep warm. They're going to be running into a howling headwind and teeming rain. The T11 and T12 classifications to kick us off in the 100 metres. 4 athletes: Henri Marianne of Mauritius, Marcel Beutker of Germany, Richard Gonzalez, Dominican Republic, and Luis Gonçalves of Portugal will all be running alongside their guides. Then we've got T13s to end the visually impaired. After that, we move on to T35, 36, 37, 38. Then the 40s and the 60s before moving into the women. Probably about an hour of 100 metres to look forward to. So the first of our 100-metre races just going through their preparation for the start there. That the pair from Dominican Republic, Richard Gonzalez. He'll be going in lane 5. He'll have Luis Gonçalves of Portugal outside him, Marcel Beutker of Germany on the inside. God, you can hear the wind rattling around the flag posts as well. These really are far from ideal conditions, and I'm sure all these sprinters will be wondering why they couldn't have done it this morning when all the 200-metre athletes were out there having a lovely time, probably wondering about what factor of sunblock to put on. Oh, that surface water on the track, that just adding to the ever-growing number of things that'll slow the times down. But if you're going to perform, you have to perform in all conditions. Still a little bit of time till we're due to get underway. 15:35 was the scheduled start time. Locally, it's 15:36 now, so it shouldn't be too long. Marcel Boitke pumping those legs to the chest, just trying to keep some blood in the limbs. Thankfully, the official behind him has managed to find a hood from somewhere to protect himself from the conditions. Oh, this wind and rain really has come in. It's probably been raining for about 20 minutes now, and with all of those umbrellas up, just take a look at all the surface water. They will be drenched through. Henri Marianne of Mauritius being taken back to the start line. And I'd imagine that each and every one of these competitors will be thinking, let's get on with this race, please. So just a reminder, if you are watching para-athletics for the first time, this is blind and visually impaired sprinting. So none of these sprinters will have the benefit of their eyes. Well, none of the T12s will. So they've got guides who are tied to their arms and help them get where they need to be. So this is the first of our 100-metre races today. Away first time in the rain, and it's a good start from Boitke of Germany. In fact, Boitke continues to pull away. Richard Gonzalez of Dominican Republic will not get back into this, and Boitke from Gonzalez, from Marianne, from Goncalves of Portugal. But Boitke and co straight out of the blocks. Big hug there between Marianne and his guide. That's a lovely moment between the two of them. They really do build big bonds. These sprinters and their guides, they have to. They train together, they pace together. It must be said that the guides are great sprinters in their own right. Henri Marianne looks quite injured there, and in another lovely show, Luis Goncalves is going to help him off the track as we see a replay. Marcel Boitke there in the black vest. Really good start. Little wobble there. His guide just putting him back on track. But Boitke too quick for Gonzalez. And Henri Marianne there, still a little bit unsure on his feet, but looking a lot more comfortable than he did just moments ago. So that is one heat of the 100 metres done. We now move on to heat 2 in the T13s. In lane 3, Jean Aponza of Colombia. Philippe Handler of Schwerin in lane 4. Elmir Drabailyov of Azerbaijan in 5. Germany's Max Marzillier goes in 6. Mario Garcia of Mexico in lane 7. And from Botswana, Edwin Mazuge in lane 8. And there is Garcia in that bright jersey. We've seen the Mexicans in some really bright jerseys today, actually. Luminous yellow, pinks, greens. There's Max Marzillier of Germany in the red. Next to him, Jabrailov of Azerbaijan in lane 5. Then in 4, Philippe Handler. And finally in lane 3, Mina Aponza of Colombia. So nobody in lanes 1 and 2. men's T13, all in the same classification. So the first past the post will be the victor. Couple of problems at the start line there, so they're asked to stand. The officials didn't look like they were too happy with where Masuge and Chisani had their hands. So, second time of asking. The rain has eased up, but it's still left all that surface water on the track. You can see in the puddles. It's still trying to rain, though. Not great sprinting conditions, but we are away first time, and Handler has got away well. But now coming through is Jabrailov of Azerbaijan. Jabrailov got eaten up there by Philippe Handler. And the man in jersey 208 absolutely powered through there. Great performance from him. Everyone over the line safely. And we move on to the T35s. So we see the replay there. Great work out of the blocks there by Aponza, the Colombian. Jabrailov looked like he was coming through, but Aponza just held on. And he strolls around with a victory under his belt as we move on to the 35 to 38, the first heat of which will have two T35s and T36, Hernan Barreto, then Tony Passion and Finn Turnhere. All three have already been on the track or field today. Barreto and Passion early on in the 200s. Finn Turnhere, we saw him as part of the long jump classification earlier on, was struggling with the board. But he's one of this young Swiss contingent from various clubs around who are competing here. Just 13 years of age, Finn. And there are the three competitors. Hernan Barreto of Argentina, big favourite for this. Won his 200 race earlier. Looks to be getting in great shape. Wanting to add to the 3 Paralympic bronze medals that he's already achieved in his career. There is Finn Turnhere, 13 years of age. I mean, these young athletes are so confident these days, but imagine being barely a teenager and lining up next to a world and Paralympic medalist in Hernan Barreto. And Tony Passion, the Estonian, will be the filling in between the Turnhere and Barreto sandwich. T35 and 36, each of these athletes varying levels of cerebral palsy. Set. Barreto out of the blocks and pulls away, as you might expect. Passion in behind him, and Finn Turnhere really trying to lengthen that stride and get himself over the line as quickly as possible. But Hernan Barreto takes it home in 13.38, followed by Passion, and then Finn Turnhere relaxing over the line in 21.37. Well recovered there, little trip from Passion. We see the replay there. Great start from Barreto into that drive phase and away. And Tony Passion in behind. And fin turn here in the rain, still coming down. Look, you can see it splashing on the finish line. As we continue through the classifications. Nobody in lane 1 this time, so Michael Olusola of Nigeria in 2, Dimitri Yozvitsky of France in 3, Jose Rodolfo Garcia, Mexico in 4, Natayod Shakan, Thailand in 5, Juan Sebastian Gomez, Colombia in 6, Lucas Schweckheimer, who we heard from on the interview stage earlier, in 7, and then Moritz Hoffmann of Germany in lane 8. A mix of T37s and T38s here. The 37s will be in the outside and inside lanes. So Olusola of Nigeria, Schweckheimer and Hoffmann. And the 4 in the middle, Yozvitsky, Chesani, Shaikan and Gomez, will be your T38s. As they make their way round again, Jose Garcia. I'll be honest with you, I'm a big fan of that Mexico jersey. I like it. Nathayod Shaikan in the blue of Thailand. Lucas Schweckheimer was his own harshest critic in the long jump earlier as he continued to power through the board. He did get some attempts away. Remember, all of the official results will be up on the official Para-Athletics Grand Prix website. Send you in that direction to keep up with the action throughout the weekend. Nathayod Shaikan. He's going to be in lane 5. He's the first there, checking and checking again. When it comes to those start blocks, making sure they're securely fastened. I mean, they usually are, but when there's a change in conditions like this, it doesn't hurt to double or triple check. Jose Rodolfo Chesani Garcia of Mexico goes through his setup. Love watching the setups and the idiosyncrasies, the different things the different athletes do.
In der Klasse 37 und 38. Michel Opemi Olusha aus Nigeria auf Bahn 2, Dimitri Yozvitsky aus Frankreich auf Bahn 3. Dann Garcia aus Mexiko 4,
So this is the 4th of our 100-meter heats. 13 in total. Live Athletics taking you through into early Friday evening. Well, early Friday evening round here. You've got spectators tuning in from all around the world. So wherever you are, whatever time of day it is, a very warm welcome for you as we see Lucas Schweinheimer getting in and out of those blocks. So those grey, wet clouds. Oh, look at that little bit of blue sky in the background. That can come back. Effectively, in between races, we just need some severe winds for about 2 minutes just to blow all that cloud away, get the surface water off the track, and we can get back on with nice blue sky racing. Couple of empty lanes here. So no Colombian in lane 6, so there'll be a gap between Schweckheimer and Shakan. And no Yozvitsky in lane 2 either. Or lane 3, should I say. It'll be Olusola in lane 2. So just the 4 of them on the track. And it is the Mexican Garcia who gets away the quickest. A good race between him and Chai Khan of Thailand, though, and it will be the Thai who takes it on the line. Chai Khan better over the final 50 metres after a great start from Garcia, but it is Thailand from Mexico in the T38. So essentially we had two races going on there. In the T38 we had Garcia against Chai Khan that Garcia took. Then Olasola against Schweckheimer. Again, looking at Schweckheimer, just made that gesture as if to say he didn't like it. He's not having a great day out there today, certainly if his body language is anything to go by. But it is great to have him and everybody else back on the track as we have a look at the replay. There was a little wobble in the blocks there from Chai Khan that allowed Garcia to have the stronger start. Then Olasola, well, I was about to say just about hangs on, but he didn't, you know. Schweckheimer in the T37 got there just ahead of the Nigerian. As we move into the T45 to 64 classifications in the men's. 5 athletes to begin with. 2 in the T47, 3 in the T46 classification. In the 47s, we have Chaiwit Sirimonkoi of Thailand. And from Dominican Republic, Luis Andres Vasquez Segura. In the 46s, we have Yaha Al-Blushi from UAE. And then Christian Mejiha from Dominican Republic. And from Lithuania, Danas Sodaitis.
Heel lekker warm weer waarschijnlijk.
Ho! Sirimonkol in lane 3, Segura in 4, Al-Blushi in 5, Mejiha in 6, and then Sodaitis in lane 7. 2 T47s racing each other in 3 and 4, 3 T46s next to each other in 5, 6 and 7. And away first time, and a really good start from Sodaitis in the outside lane. In the T47s, it's Sirimonkoi who's got away quicker, but Segura is coming back strong. This is a great race in the T47s, but in the 46s, Sodaitis takes it. Then Segura in the T47. So Lithuania in the outside lane overcomes Dominican Republic and UAE. So Sodaitis from Al-Blushi and Mejia. And in a much tighter race, Segura takes it from Sirimonkoi, Dominican Republic, over Thailand in the T47s. Good racing. So 4 classifications in this next race, so quite a bit to get our heads around. In lane 3, racing in the T62, Johannes Flor Germany. Levi Vloot of Netherlands, a T64, is next to him in lane 4. Then David Bera of Germany is a T62 in lane 5. Denpum Kotcherang of Thailand is a T64 in lane 6. The only T63 going is George Jong of Netherlands, and he's in lane 7. Then Nicolas Antonio Benitez of Chile is a T42 who goes in lane 8.
Neben ihnen aus Niederlanden Levi Voigt, dann David B. aus Deutschland auf 5, Denpum Kotcherang aus Thailand 6, Joel de Jong aus Niederlanden 7 und Nicolas Antonio Castro Benitez aus Chile auf Bahn 8. Hier also ein starkes Feld.
On your marks.
So Johannes Flores of Germany there on the inside lane. Next to him, Levi Vloot, David Beer, Denpum Kotcherang, Joel de Jong, and Nicolas Benitez on the outside there. Not in the blocks, in the blue vest. Really quickly out the blocks there from Kacharong, but expect him to be reeled in as he's got that low centre of gravity going though. Kacharong has got away well, but coming through in lane 3, David Bear, the T62. Oh, after a, well, not the best start he'll have, certainly. It was one of the best finishes. David Bear takes it. That was Nicolas Benitez there, the only T42 athlete. But David Bear having a word there with Levi Vloot. Those two were going up against each other, the two T64s. Powerhouse stuff there from Johannes Flores, David Bear, Levi Vloot and Denpum Kotcherang. Excellent racing to close the show in the men's 100 metres. Next we move on to the women's, not before seeing a replay though. And Flores, wow, what a performance from him. So the umbrellas are still up. The officials still bravely out there in varying levels of waterproof attire, but they're usually more well prepared than the rest of us anyway. The wind still bellowing through the flags. You can see the Swiss flag there, resplendent in red and white. And the surface water on the track hasn't prevented us from seeing some great racing as we move into the final phase of the track athletics for today. It's the women's 100 metres. We start with the visually impaired classifications. 3 T11s going here, so everyone competing against each other. In fact, that's the same for the first 3 races in the women, so a little bit different from the men. So we've got T11s, followed by T12s, followed by T13s. So in lane 3, Julie Asson from Mauritius. Next to her, in the middle, the Peruvian runner, Melissa Baldera. Then from Nigeria, Lovina Onyegbule. Oh, really good look of the bands that hold them together there. So those rubber bands that go around the fingers, they're a very similar consistency to those rubber bands that various sponsors and charities use, and then there's not a lot of stretch in that webbing between the two. Just a little bit of give, but it needs the tension in it, so the guides can quite literally do that. They can guide their athletes. That Lovina Onyegbule and her guide, Julie Asson, facing us right now. Then in the middle, just walking back in the red vest, that's Melissa Baldera.
Seniors. Good.
Okay, so after this race, the interview. Well, heavy rain droplets coming down now. I think this is going to be the case between now and the end of the day. Thankfully, for these 100-meter rockets, they don't have to be out there for too long. They're that quick. So this is the first of the women's rounds then. Julia Son of Mauritius in lane 3, Melissa Baldera, Peru in lane 5, Lavinia Onyegbule, Nigeria in lane 7. Away first time and pretty equal across the board from the start, but then Onyegbule of Nigeria starts to put the hammer down. A Son of Mauritius going well, but Baldera of Peru coming through the middle. This is a good race, but Onyegbule holds on and it's tight for second. It'll be a photo between Asson and Baldera as both just eased up and made it as close as it could be, but no disputing the victor. Lavina Onyegbule, racing out of lane 7, takes the women's T11s for Nigeria.
Time 14:02 for Lavina Onyegbule from Nigeria. Auf 14:02 für die Siegerin aus Nigeria, Lavina Onyegbule.
So the next race will be the women's T12 100 metres, but before that, let's hear from Manuela Schur.
Auf Bahn 1 finden wir Seminoso Onyegbule aus Tansania.
Success isn't just about what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do. Live your version of freedom of movement. We support paraplegics for a lifetime.
Mut heißt aufstehen, wieder aufstehen. Mut heißt abfahren, auf was man will, auf wen man will und wie man will. Mut heißt vertrauen und verzeihen, Pläne machen und bloß nichts machen, nur weil andere es von dir erwarten. Mut heißt mal gewinnen und mal verlieren, aber niemals den Mut. Mut heißt machen. Allianz.
Flow, das beglückende Gefühl restloser Fokussierung. Focus Water. Find your flow.
Nach all dieser Zeit, nach all diesen schönen Erlebnissen, soll ich jetzt einfach gehen?
Herr Schneider,
Jetzt habe ich doch gerade die Weiterbildung gemacht.
Ihr den Schlüssel bitte.
Wie lange bin ich jetzt schon bei Ihnen?
Seit 3 Tagen.
Freiwillig geht bei uns keiner gerne. Campus Sursee, das größte Seminarhotel der Schweiz.
Buchen Sie doch das nächste Mal auch noch das Wochenende. Hm?
Just awaiting the action to continue here on day one in Nottwil. Just a reminder that we will be back tomorrow and Sunday as well. So all of the track events will be covered, and I'd look forward to your company wherever you're watching around the world. The next race scheduled on the track is the T12 100 meters, but there doesn't seem to be much action out there at the moment as the weather continues to not play ball. It was gorgeous conditions earlier, the perfect welcome back for a lot of these athletes. We had sun, we had still winds, but now we have this. But what we do have are athletes out there on the track. We're still hoping to hear from Manuela Schur at some point as well. Been bringing you interviews with the athletes throughout the day. So this T12 athletics, so more visual impairments, and thus the athletes will have the guides. For those of you watching who are not visually impaired, you will see the guides in their luminous yellow vests. Shedemoso Mogweng of Botswana will go in lane 1. Katrin Müller-Rutgart of Germany in 3. Darlenice de la Cruz of Dominican Republic in lane 5. And also from Dominican Republic, Manuela Santana in lane 7. All T12s. Some age gap between them as well. So Katrin Müller-Rutgart will turn 40 in January. Darlenice de la Cruz Severino turned 20 this month. But as we often see in para-athletics, age is not a barrier to pace or success. They can keep themselves in great shape for a long time. There is Severino. All smiles. Her and Santana wishing each other luck. And having a great time in the rain. Tell you what, they won't have conditions like this all the time in Dominican Republic, will they? Alas, they've travelled to Europe, to the beautiful country, Switzerland. And this is what they have to deal with. Mogwang in lane 1, Müller-Rutgart in 3, Severino in 5, Santana in 7. And all the T12s away first time, or are they? Santana, not a great start from her, but Müller-Rutgart and Severino going absolutely brilliantly. It's going to be Severino, or is it? Oh, so close to tell on the line from the angle that we got. Severino and Müller-Rutgart. Ever so close. In fact, Müller-Rutgart's guide has run so hard. He looks to have tweaked a hamstring. Manuela Santana finishes her race and gets the congratulations of her teammate Severino. But we'll have to head over to the official website for the final result of that, because it was close on the line between Dominican Republic and Germany. Müller-Rutgart and Severino both urging each other on, both getting the best out of each other. And that ends the T12 100 metres. T13 up next. And now finally it is time to hear from Manuela Scher. Already competed today. It was a bit drier when she did. Let's hear what she has to say.
Jawohl, wir sitzen hier am Trocknen. Ich denke, Manuela, du bist froh, wenn wir jetzt rausschauen, dass ihr euch ein Rennen noch im Trocknen habt.
Ja, ich habe hier die Wolkenwand gesehen im Callroom und bin wirklich schnell nervös und habe das Gefühl, es kann alles schnell gehen und es kommt regnen, aber wir sind zum Glück noch im Trocknen durchgekommen. Ja.
Deine Zeit 1:44,39, du hast mal gesagt, ist okay.
Nein, das ist sicher gut. Also, ja, es fehlt noch ein paar Sekunden bis zu meiner PB von letztes Jahr und von dem her habe ich sicher noch etwas zu tun in den nächsten paar Wochen, aber es ist mal sicher ein guter Gradmesser für die Zeit, wo wir jetzt sind. Also ich glaube, man kann zufrieden sein.
Die meisten haben gesagt, sie seien ein bisschen nervöser als sonst, weil es jetzt eben wieder mal ein Rennen, endlich wieder mal ein Rennen ist. Du auch?
Ja, es ist mega witzig. Man sollte meinen, oder? Ich bin schon so manches Jahr dabei, das ist ein alter Hase und so, Ewigkeiten Rennen gefahren. Aber sobald man mal ein Jahr etwas nicht mehr macht, geht man so wie aus dieser Routine raus. Und ich habe wirklich auch so ein bisschen Schmetterling im Bauch heute Morgen, den ich eigentlich sonst nicht mehr so extrem hatte. Und dann habe ich auch gemerkt, mein Herzblut ist da schon noch dabei. Und ja, es ist schön, einfach wieder mal die Emotionen zu spüren.
Gibt es einen extra Push oder hemmt es ihr ein bisschen?
Ich habe das Gefühl nicht so extrem gerne. Also wenn so der Magen so ein bisschen rumflattert und so. Aber es gehört wie auch dazu. Und ich glaube, mal im Nachhinein braucht es das wie auch ein bisschen.
Und jetzt sind wir im Rhythmus drin, oder? Jetzt kommen noch die anderen Rennen.
Ja, genau, ich bin gespannt. Ich hoffe, das Wetter für Tab morgen auch wieder so gut wie heute. Es hat ja eigentlich schlechter gehabt, als es schlussendlich war. Ja, ich freue mich noch auf die längeren Distanzen und mal schauen, was dort noch drin liegt. Genau.
Und so ein bisschen gesellschaftlich natürlich, man sieht endlich auch die anderen Leute wieder, das darf man auch nicht unterschätzen.
Ja, es ist so, gerade wenn man Marathon fährt und Bahn, dann sieht man eigentlich die Leute das ganze Jahr immer wieder in regelmäßigen Abständen. Und das ist schon so ein bisschen, ja, schon fast ein familiäres Umfeld manchmal. Und es sind auch Freundschaften, die da entstehen. Und dann ist schon irgendwie traurig gewesen, wo man die einfach plötzlich ein Jahr lang, 1,5 Jahre lang nicht mehr gesehen hat und vielleicht nicht so viel Kontakt gehabt hat. Und es ist mega schön, alle wieder zu sehen und einfach auch den Vibe wieder ein bisschen zu spüren und so. Das passt. Ja, genau, der Vibe, aber sich mit den anderen zu messen, oder? Ich meine, trainieren ist das eine. Wir sind viele immer dort zu Nottwil und sind die anderen endlich auch wieder mal da. Ja, der Wettkampftyp ist, dann fehlt einem das schon, wenn man das plötzlich nicht mehr hat. Also, ich liebe es zu trainieren und ich trainiere gerne und ich will das auch weiterhin machen, wenn ich nicht mehr Wettkämpfe fahre. Aber ich merke schon, ich bin der Wettkampftyp und brauche einfach so ein bisschen ja, die Emotionen dazu, so ein bisschen der Ehrgeiz kommt schon immer wieder durch und von dem her ist es schön, wenn es jetzt endlich wieder losgeht.
Was hast du vorgenommen für morgen?
Ja, ich glaube ähnlich wie heute, mal ein bisschen schauen, wie es in den längeren Distanzen läuft im Vergleich und ja, so ein bisschen, einfach wieder ein bisschen reinzukommen, genau.
Okay, danke vielmals, Manuel Scher. A few questions now in English. Manuel, how was the feeling to be back on the track?
Amazing and weird also, because, you know, we didn't race for more than a year and yeah, Paralympics coming up, so it's probably the last track meet that we have before the Paralympics, so yeah, I was quite nervous and yeah, it was just good to be back.
Okay, so about your time, 1:44.39, you said, well, it's good, it's okay.
I think it's pretty good. Still, my PR is still a bit faster from last year, but it was quite windy and you know, I didn't do that much track before this meet because I had more time to prepare for you know, for my basic training. So I still have a few weeks until August, until the Paralympics when I have to be ready. So I think it's good where I am now.
Now it's raining. I guess you must be very happy. Your race was before. It was still sunny, not so windy, so it was quite okay from the conditions.
Yeah, we got really lucky because you could see it coming. So I was a bit scared that it would pour down before our race, but we got lucky and it was dry for our race.
Okay, thank you very much, Manuela. We'll see you tomorrow again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Manuela Schur echoing everybody's sentiments there who competed this morning, that they're not out there in this. Oh, and I hope it doesn't stay like this for the rest of the weekend. Either way, great to have her back, great to have everybody back, and as she mentioned there, the importance of this perhaps being the last meet for many before the Tokyo Paralympics. And what an occasion that promises to be. You join us ahead of yet more 100 metres. So this is the women's T13. After that, we'll have, well, we'll move into the classifications, the T35s to T38s. We've got 2 heats of that, then the 45s to 64. So you've got 2 heats of that, and then that closes proceedings for today. So 3 races scheduled for this next one. We've got Jana Sophie Engelleiter of Germany, then 2 Azeri athletes, Julia Junovaskia and Elena Shibanu. There is Engelleiter. In fact, we're just seeing a replay of the 2 Azeris and the German athlete as Shibanu of Azerbaijan powered home. Well, and I say that, really powerful performance. She beat her teammate and Engelleiter. So that was the T13. Shibanu taking it for Azerbaijan ahead of Janovskaya, and then Engelleiter of Germany finishing 3rd. So now we move into the T35 to T38. So we've got 135, 136 and 2 37s in this race. Cheyenne Boethorn of Netherlands goes in lane 3. She is the only T36. Nienke Thiemer in lane 4 of the Netherlands is the T35. Then 2 T37s. We've got Laura Bobella of Germany. And the 3rd Dutch competitor, Lisa Cornelissen.
Das ist die 4 Plätze Serie 100 Meter. Und in der allerletzten Serie aus Schweizer Sicht natürlich von großem Interesse Abbazia Ramani. Aber wir werden zuvor auch noch weitere Schweizerinnen in Einsatz sehen. Elena Kratter oder auch Sofia González.
And these are not the conditions that sprinters dream of, but if you're going to do it at the top level, you need to be able to do it anywhere and everywhere, and that is being put to the test today. Track and field athletics is meant to be a summer sport. Come on, Nottwil, play ball. And the athletes called to their marks and taking their sweet time to get there as well. This is the point where the jackets have to go. See the tension in the shoulders of Cheyenne Bouton. And in fact, she's going to go on her own here, or is she? Maybe they were just testing the blocks. Didn't receive any confirmation of that. And now they are happy that the equipment works, and all 4 athletes are called to their mark. So Bouton in the grey in 3, Tima in 4, Berbella of Germany in 5, and Cornelissen of Netherlands in 6. 4 athletes, 3 classifications. 100 metres.
Please stand up.
And more groans from the competitors as they have to stay warm for a little longer. 2 of the 4 going with the long trousers as well, just trying to keep in whatever heat they can. Of course, sprinters, such finely tuned athletes, we do see soft tissue injuries and hamstrings and the like. Those fast twitch muscles are prone to tears. The officials there in their white waterproofs. And those trains really do come herring past the athletic stadium here. So 3 races still to come, 4 including this one. Hopefully you've enjoyed our coverage on day 1 of this Para-Athletics Grand Prix from Nottwil. As I mentioned, we are here for the entire weekend, Saturday and Sunday, uninterrupted coverage. I'm very much looking forward to your company over the weekend. As Manuela Schur said, the last opportunity a lot of these competitors will have before they head to the Paralympics. So make sure you come, support them, enjoy them. You can't be there in person, but that doesn't mean you can't show them some love. So we are waiting for the heat 1 of the T35 to 38 100 metres. Cheyenne Bouton, the only T36. She's the tallest competitor there on the right-hand side in the grey top. 3 Dutch athletes in total. Lisa Cornelissen looking like she's feeling the cold the most, and Bouton's cracked. On goes the jacket. God, look at that weather. Just in the top right there, you can see a bit of blue sky teasing us. But there's no danger of that. And look how dark it is away to the left-hand side. And looking at the wind through the flags, that's the direction that the wind's blowing in as well. So all those dark clouds are coming in the direction of the stadium here at Nottwil. We'll be back with the sprinting as soon as they decide that they're ready to go. There has been a slight delay here, so apologies for it. As soon as I receive any news, so there will be a short delay of a few minutes before we get this women's T35, 36 and 37 100 metres underway. So let's take this opportunity to thank our partners.
Success isn't just about what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do. Live your version of freedom of movement. We support paraplegics for a lifetime.
Mut heißt aufstehen, wieder aufstehen. Mut heißt abfahren, auf was man will, auf wen man will und wie man will. Mut heißt vertrauen und verzeihen, Pläne machen und bloß nichts machen, nur weil andere es von dir erwarten. Mut heißt mal gewinnen und mal verlieren, aber niemals den Mut. Mut heißt machen. Allianz.
Flow, das beglückende Gefühl restloser Fokussierung. Focus Water. Find your flow.
Nach all dieser Zeit, nach all diesen schönen Erlebnissen soll ich jetzt einfach gehen.
Herr Schneider...
Jetzt habe ich doch gerade die Weiterbildung gemacht.
Ihren Schlüssel bitte.
Wie lange bin ich jetzt schon bei Ihnen?
Seit 3 Tagen.
Freiwillig geht bei uns keiner gerne. Campus Sursee, das größte Seminarhotel der Schweiz.
Buchen Sie doch das nächste Mal auch noch das Wochenende. Hm?
As another train comes by in the wind and rain here at Nottwil, we are waiting to get back underway with the women's 100 metres. There's been a bit of a technical problem with the start blocks. And while the officials continue to do their great work, they've already done so much great work just to ensure that we've got a competition. They'll have called in the wizards who fix these things, and we'll be getting back underway very, very shortly indeed. Once we do get underway, we've got 3 more 100-metre races before we leave you to enjoy the rest of your Friday, wherever you're watching around the world. If it's in any of the European countries, it'll be a Friday evening, and hopefully the lockdown has opened up enough in whatever country you're in for you to enjoy some time with family, friends, maybe a restaurant, maybe a bar, who knows. Either way, we hope that you're thriving, surviving, happy and healthy, and looking forward to more great athletics. Not just athletics, but sport in general. We're looking forward to a great summer of sport, and that seems to start right here in Nottwil. I've been attempting to keep my eye on what's going on across various countries. I know that in the United Kingdom, they're looking forward to reopening stadiums to supporters, not just in athletics, but also some of the bigger sports over there, football and rugby, and people can't wait to get back, and I'm sure you guys watching at home can't wait to get back to enjoy some live sport as well. And what better way to spend a sunny day than laying on the bank watching some great track and field athletics. That's what we've had so far today. We have had a world record. Hannah Cockcroft in the 800 metres taking nearly 5 seconds off the world record. And she says herself that she could even go a little bit quicker. So, Tokyo, watch out. Hannah Cockcroft's coming for you, looking to add to her already burgeoning collection of Paralympic medals. If you are just tuning in and thinking, goodness me, this looks like a pretty bleak scene, well, you'd be right now, but you'd also be quite wrong as well. I mean, it's a beautiful vista when the sky's clear, but that gives you an idea of exactly how much the weather has closed in, because in the top left of your screens, that was all rolling hills, blue sky and fluffy cloud before, but now it is dark and bleak. There are parasols, waterproofs and umbrellas cast like multicoloured mushrooms all over the stadium here. And there are some 100-metre runners who've actually gone away from the starting blocks now. Such is the delay, because they were stood out there in the wet and cold, and that's not what you need fine-tuned 100-metre runners doing. They need to stay warm, stay limber, and stay ready to go. So when the action does restart, after a slight delay, this race was originally scheduled for 16:20 local time. It's now 16:32, so still only 12 minutes behind, which towards the end of a day at an athletics meet, anyone who's been to athletics at any level will know if you're 12 minutes behind, you're doing pretty well, because quite literally anything can happen. So 4 races to go. This, the T35, 36 and 37. Then we move up the classifications. There's one more in the 35 to 38 classifications. Then we've got 2 races in the 45 to 64s. We've been mainly concentrating on the track action, but there's been action in the field as well. We've had the throwing events, shot put, javelin, and we've had the long jump too. For all of the results, then you need to head over to the Para-Athletics WPA Grand Prix website. And if you click on Nottwil, you will be taken to all of the live results and, of course, the schedule for tomorrow and Sunday, the 15th and 16th of May, respectively. We are here in Nottwil praying for what you see in the top right of your screen, that beautiful blue sky and the green rolling hills, not what you see in the left, the dark and bleak clouds of Mordor. But still waiting for news updates as to when the races will continue. Bouton, Timmer, Burbulla and Cornelissen will be the next on the track in the T35 to 38 women's 100 metres. If you're tuning in expecting to watch some women's 100 metre racing, just a quick update on what's going on. There was a problem at the start line before we got on with the women's T35 to 38. So we've still got 4 races scheduled today. But if you look pretty much bang in the middle of your screen, that's the start point there for the 100 metres. And there's no action going on there at the moment. The athletes have been sent back in. All of the officials are still under those red gazebos, so they're still out there doing what they can to ensure that the competition finishes today. We've had a real turn of the weather, and that hasn't helped. But at the nearest convenience, those empty blocks will be full blocks, and we'll be running the final 4 races of the day here on day 1 of this World Para-Athletics Grand Prix from Nottwil. Really pleased to be bringing you live coverage throughout the 3 days of the competition here. For many of these athletes, the top level athletes, the last chance to do it before they go to the Paralympics. Some countries haven't even announced their teams yet, so quite a lot will be put on the performances of these athletes. So check back in shortly, and as soon as I get news, I'll let you know. Well, we have received some information, and there will be a slight delay. As soon as we get complete confirmation, we will give you that. But the plan is to still have the races today. And as you can see there, we have a slight delay due to problems with the timekeeping. And of course, this is 100 meters. The timekeeping is absolutely everything. As soon as we get confirmation of when the races will restart, we will let you know. But until then, stick with us.
Ja, aber die meisten Freiwilligen, die sind so wie du die ganze Zeit von A bis Z da, die sind temporär auch. Das wäre ja ein Trainingstag oder dann. Also Fahrberufszeit. Ja, das ist ja. Ich kann nicht sagen,
früh, das werden wir natürlich, beginnt dann um 17 Uhr die Weitsprungkonkurrenz, die Athleten machen sich da langsam bereit, beginnt um 17 Uhr. Und bis dahin ist recht sicher wenig zu machen. Und das mit der Welt, das kann ich dir heute sagen, das ist schon geil. Und da gibt es es noch. Ich meine, sonst hat der Lichtbetrieb, das ist es so angenehm, dass wenn wir die Teile so oben 1000 Sekunden oder so, So, jetzt scheint es so knapp, dass es nur weitergehen mit dem Wettkampf und nicht mit der Sonne. Die Aktivitäten, die zuvor schon beim Start bereit stehen, sahen, Sie sind nun wieder dran, Sie können sich bereit machen. Dann geht es weiter mit der Paralympics. Insgesamt 3 Wettkampftage. Cheyenne Busson, Nienke Timmer, Laura Burgulla und Lisa Cornelissen, das sind die Athletinnen, die sich ein weiteres Mal im Regen bereit machen.
Well, good news. The rain continues to pour, but we've got some athletes back out there. Cheyenne Bouton, Ninka Tima, Laura Borbilla and Lisa Cornelissen are back, albeit with jackets on, but ready to run in the 4th but last race of the day as another train rips past here in Nottwil. So just a reminder, those are the 3 athletes and these are the classifications they're in. From Netherlands, Cheyenne Bouton will run in lane 3. She's a T36, the only T36 in this race. Nienke Timmer, also from Netherlands, she's a T35. So those 2 separate competitions. Laura Burbilla in lane 5 and Lisa Cornelissen in lane 6. They are both T37s, so they're effectively racing against each other. After this, we've got another heat in the T35 to 38s. They're all 37 and 38s. Then we move on to the 45 and 64s, wheelchair racing, to close the day. So they're all out in the rain. A photographer walking straight across the shot. Come on, lads, bit of respect for the live stream. Here we go then, in the grey, Cheyenne Bouton. Next to her, in the long leggings, Nienke Timmer of Netherlands. In lane 5, Laura Borbilla of Germany. And then Lisa Cornelissen of lane 6. Of Netherlands in lane 6. At the 3rd or 4th time of asking, after a long delay, they're going to run their race in the rain here in Nottwil. And we are away. Good start by Bouton, then Nienke Timmer comes through, and Laura Borbilla of Germany looking to take the lead from Cornelissen. But look at the power from Cheyenne Bouton. She's going to take it. She's a T36, so that's her race run. And then coming through, Lisa Cornelissen pips Borbilla in the 37s. So it is Netherlands, Netherlands, Netherlands. Cheyenne Bouton winning the T36, Nienke Timmer the 35, and then Lisa Cornelissen of Netherlands pipping Germany's Laura Borbilla right on the line. What a performance from Cornelissen. Great final 20 metres. And after all that, their race is run and they can get dry and warm. And we're back underway. 3 races to go in the day. Next up, Heat 2 in the women's T35 to T38. Thank you for sticking with us, team. This race will take place about half an hour after it was supposed to, but thank you to all of the officials who've managed to fix all of the systems that mean that we can still have racing. But that finish there in lane 7, unbelievable stuff. Great racing. And this is who we've got coming up in the next. That is the lineup. These are the lanes that they're going to be in. So in lane 1, Anis Angeline from Mauritius. She's a T37. In lane 2 from Russia, Anna Sapozhikova. She's also a T37. Then next to them, it's a couple of T38s. From Colombia, Darian Jimenez. Next to her, from Germany, Lindy Ever. Back to the T37s. From South Africa, Cheryl James. In lane 5, and a T38 from Colombia, Kati Herdato in 6. Nelly Musco's in lane 7, a T38 from Germany. And finally, in the outside lane, lane 8, Victoria Slanova from Russia. She is a T37, and we should have a full field.
Währenddessen laufen die Vorbereitungen ab.
It does look like we've got a couple of empty lanes, but they've still got time to arrive. No Kati Hurtado at the moment, the Colombian. And no Cheryl James from South Africa in lane 5 either. So count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 athletes out there. So I can see Anais Angeline of Mauritius. I can see Sapozhnikova from Russia in lane 2. No Darian Jimenez of Colombia. In fact, no Hurtado or Jimenez. No Colombians have arrived thus far. Two races to come after this as we move into the 45s and 64s, but this heat 2 of the 35 to 38s on day 1. Great to have you on board wherever you're watching around the world, and if you're watching from any of the countries that we've got competitors from, Mauritius, Russia, Germany, South Africa, great to have you. Glad you're with us. Again, that blue sky in the background teasing us, because there's no blue sky here right now. That is Kati Hurtado, has appeared in lane 6 as she is just adjusting her laces. You can see how wet and miserable it is there. Water on water on water. Thank you to all of our sponsors and partners who are ensuring that we can have this competition and ensuring that great sport gets back where it belongs, in our stadiums, on our screens. And it's great to be able to bring you uninterrupted coverage of the weekend's racing here from Nottwil, the Para Athletics Grand Prix. The local time just approaching 5 p.m. So in lane 8, Slanova of Russia, Moose Germany in 7, Hurtado Colombia in 6, James South Africa, the one that's missing at the moment. So no Cheryl James, unless she's going to make a big appearance. So lane 5 will be empty. Lindy Ava of Germany in 4, Darian Jimenez of Colombia in 3, Sapozhnikova Russia in 2, and Angeline Mauritius in lane 1. And away we go first time. So no lane 5, but we do have a lane 3, and it's Jimenez Sanchez from Colombia who's going to take this. She's the T38, closing down on her. Lindy Ava of Germany, also a T38 in lane 4. So a great race between those two. But Darian Jimenez Sanchez of Colombia takes it. Ava Lindy of Germany in 2nd place in the T38s. Into the final 2 heats of the day then, the T45 to 64s in the women's. So in lane 3 from Netherlands, one of 3 T47s, Noël Roda. The other 2 will be the opposite side of the track to her in lane 7 and lane 8. In lane 7, Kim-Marie Vasker of Germany and Joy Ayakwo of Nigeria. 1T46, Lisa Pedersen of Germany. And then 2 Swiss athletes in the middle lanes, Elena Kratter and Sofia Gonzalez, both T63s. Again, these athletes given plenty of time to get warm. Not easy racing conditions out there. They'll have been expecting to be on the track a little bit earlier than this as well. So Kim Vasker of Germany just taking her time there to get into the blocks. Part of the preparation, isn't it? Joy Ayakwo of Nigeria out there in the green, in the outside lane. Elena Kratter, Switzerland in lane 5 in the black. Full right leg amputee. She's a T63. As is her teammate Sofia Gonzalez in lane 6. So no one in lanes 1 and 2. Roorda, Pettersson, Kratter, Gonzalez, Vasker, Ayakwo. And again, away first time. No false starts today, and it is a good start for Roorda in lane 3 in that blue vest. But Ayakwo of Nigeria coming through now. There's some performance from her in the T47. She'll take it ahead of Vasker. And then Roorda in lane 4. It was Pettersson who took the T46, and then Kratter ahead of Gonzalez in the T63s. 3 classifications all decided, but the first past the post was that woman there, Joy Ayakwo from Nigeria. Sometimes tough out there in the outside lane. She had 2 competitors to worry about, but got rid of Vasker and got rid of Roorda and took the victory in the penultimate race of the day. Just in the bottom right there, Gonzalez and Kratter. 2 Swiss athletes, both T63s, getting a photo for the memory book. And now I can imagine they'll all be looking to get a warm jacket, because that's what they're going to need out there. Cold old day in Nottwil. A few patches of dry track they're going past there, but not many. So now we count down to the final race of the day. It is in the same classification, 45 to 64s. And here are the runners and riders. 4 T62, starting in lane 1, Abbasia Rahmani of Switzerland. The next T62 will be Fleur Jong of Netherlands. She's in lane 5. And then in the outside lanes again, Sarah Andres of Spain. And then Marlou van Rijn of Netherlands. They're the T62s. The T64s in lane 2, Maria Tietze of Germany. And Marlene van Gansewinkel of Netherlands. They are in lanes 2 and 3. And then in lane 6, Kimberly Alkemada, also of Netherlands. And then the 1 T44 is Irmgard Ben-Suzanne of Germany. She's bang in the middle in lane 4. So I'll give you the lane rundown without the classifications. Abbasia Rahmani, Switzerland in 1. Maria Tietze of Germany in 2. Marlene van Gansewinkel, Netherlands in 3. From Germany in lane 4, Irmgard Ben-Suzanne. From Netherlands in lane 5, it's Fleur Jong. From Netherlands also in lane 6, Kimberly Alquemada. In lane 7 from Spain, Sara Andres Barrio. And Marlu van Rijn of Netherlands goes in lane 8. That will be the lineup for our final race of the day from Nottwil, before we look forward to a great Friday evening and an even better Saturday morning, because we'll be back with more power athletics from the Grand Prix here in Switzerland. So the athletes out there, everyone has got their own little bit of personal adjustment to do to the blocks. And some of them, in the amputee classifications, ignore the blocks altogether and just use their natural assets to get away. The rain's still coming down. There's a great view of the condition of the track, the surface water that's just being added to. Lane 6 there, Kimberly Alquemada of Netherlands. All set then ahead of the last race of the day, but that does not conclude our coverage. Oh no, para athletics fans. We will be heading to the long jump, and that sand will be very heavy with all of this rain falling as well. Remember, if you want to keep on top of the live results, then head on over to the website, particularly as those results start to build, but they are all out ahead of this race here. Starting in lane 1, Abbasia Rahmani there in the crop top, wearing number 210. To her right hand side, the German in lane 2, Maria Tietze. Then from Netherlands, Marlene van Gansewinkel in lane 3. Not currently there, but in lane 4 from Germany will be Irmgard Ben-Suzanne. And then 2 Dutch athletes, Fleur Jong and Kimberly Alquemada. Then the Spaniards, Sara Andres Barrio, and then again from Netherlands, Marlu van Rijn. And we are away, and it was Abassi Ratmani, quickest of the ones we saw, but Sarah Andres Barrio going along quite nicely until Marlene van Gansevinkel puts the hammer down, and Fleur Jong taking her on, but it will be Marlene van Gansevinkel in the T64s taking it from Fleur Jong. So those are your first place 64 and 62 respectively. Strong performances from Netherlands. In a talent-packed field, your leading T64 athlete Marlene van Gansevinkel and your leading T62 Fleur Jong, both from Netherlands. And that concludes the track action for today. We'll be back with more track athletics tomorrow. But shortly, before we conclude our broadcast for the day, we will bring you the long jump competition, the T13 to the T64. We've got South Africans, Thai, Netherlands, Sweden and Mexico from T13. Well, two T13s, a 47, a 61 and a 63 here in the rain. Still windy, but looking at the flags, the conditions have died down a little bit. So don't go too far. We'll be back very shortly with some long jump.
Auf der Bahn zwischen Ruheverkehr mit dem letzten Ruhe der Start. Nun kommen wir zum Einspringen, respektive da sind wir schon mittendrin, und dann können wir jetzt uns darauf konzentrieren, auf den nächsten Versuch von Friedberg aus Schweden. Steht bereits für seinen zweiten Versuch.
White flag goes up there for Jorge Gonzalez, the Mexican, wearing 163. So in terms of attempts and how the competition lies, you will have to head over to the website for the results. This is our final scheduled event of today. Thanks very much for joining us, by the way. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you all. Confirmation there of 5.74 meters. Chaiwat Sirimongkol of Thailand, the next to go. They're measuring it, so it must be a white flag. Big smile on his face as well. At least some of them are enjoying the conditions. And these are the conditions where you'll be enjoying wearing a face covering as well. Just that little bit of extra warmth. Those officials there in white with their white coats as well. They look like Ghostbusters, don't they? But they're out here doing a great job for us, making sure But we've got athletics to enjoy. Is Joel de Jong of Netherlands. 5.81 was the confirmed distance of the last jump.
Es wird abgesperrt, selbstverständlich so, dass die Weitspringer in ihrem Wettkampf nicht gehindert werden.
So here is de Jong. 21-year-old gets momentum. Takes off on that bladed leg. Gets the red flag, so that won't count for Joel de Jong.
In about 3 or 4 minutes, the track will be open again. Just if you want to use it. For the last time for today, preparing for tomorrow, track will be open in 3 or 4 minutes.
It's a confirmation then. 0-0-0 there for Joel de Jong. And that was his third attempt. Olaf Ryberg, the next to go. The Swede in T13. Look close to the board. I think that roll of the eyes tells you everything you need to know. Overstepped with the right foot. And that'll be another red flag to add to the collection. And another 0 on the board. So he'll not improve his position. Now, Asa Almeida, the Brazilian, was very vocal in his disappointment last time. We register a score this time. The South American. Again, throws his head back. Doesn't like it. Doesn't even look to see if he's got the red flag or the white flag. Just gazes into the distance. Really wretched conditions for these athletes to be competing in. Another white flag for Jorge Gonzalez. Continues his good form, does the Mexican. Him and Olaf Ryberg, the two T13s in this competition, going head to head. The Swede got a red flag last time. So he needs to start making it count before long. .71, the confirmed distance there for Gonzalez. 5 meters 71. Chaiwat Sirimonkol stretches those legs, and T47, he's out there on his own, so competing against himself effectively. Left-hand amputee. Gets the white flag though. Or does he? Plenty of communication with the coach up there. The coach has got any sense. He's staying warm and dry, but Sirimonkol asking for something to keep him warm, or keep him dry, or keep him something. Olaf Ryberg looking to respond to the 571 that Jorge Gonzalez jumped. Is Joel de Jong. Oh, white flag for de Jong this time. Really expressive with his face. He was miserable last time, he was happy this time. He's the only T63 in the competition. Watch his reaction here to see if he likes it or not. Oh, it doesn't give us too much, de Jong. .633. 6 meters 33 for Joel de Jong. Now Olaf Ryberg. The T13 competing with Jorge Gonzalez of Mexico, who confirmed 571 in the previous round. What has Ryberg got in the legs here? Oh, not this time. Rhythm, absolutely everything in the long jump, and if you don't get it right, then that's what happens. Pull out from Ryberg. So back to the Brazilian, Asa Almeida. Confirmation that Ryberg gets 4 zeros from his 4th attempt into the second half of this final event of the day. Almeida needs a big shot this time. Another red flag, not being measured. Quite a few of these athletes today. Well, in fact, he has got a number there, 488 for Almeida.
Nächster Versuch für den Mexikaner Jorge Benjamin González. Vierter Versuch.
So González, 571 in the last round. Close to the board this time. White flag though, can he improve on that? 571 in the last round with Olaf Ryberg struggling, his T13 opponent. Jorge González, 571 in the previous round. I'll get it up on the board the same time as you when the next athlete starts. No, it's not there yet. Oh, 5.64, so no improvement. Still 571. Chawat Sirimonkol. The next to take on round 4. No, didn't get that right at all. Sirimonkol. After his previous jump, he was communicating with his coaches, unclear what he wanted, whether he was signalling that it was an injury or if he just wanted something to keep him warm or dry. That's 2 mistakes from Sirimonkol in the last 2 rounds, and he's running out of time. So now Joe de Jong, 6:33 last time, and a white flag. Gets in there to talk to the officials as well. Gotta love an athlete who likes to have a good relationship with the officials. That one not being measured though. Red flag for Joel de Jong. Confirmation there, 0-0-0 on the board. That was his 5th attempt, so flying through here. Six attempts for everybody. Of course. As the next competitor gets waved through, it is Olaf Ryberg. Needs a big jump here and revs himself up for it as well. Slaps his legs, gets those muscle fibers working and G's himself up as much as anything. Needs to time the run up. Hasn't been good enough for Ryberg and needs a jump of over 5.71 meters in this 5th round. Oh, red flag. Red flag for Ryberg. And he'll have one more attempt. What's Asa doing there? Is it a bit of a sun dance? Praying for some of that Brazilian warmth? 4:88 in the last round for Almeida. He is the only T38 competitor, probably feeling the cold. Was lucky enough to be at the last Olympic and Paralympic cycle. Met plenty of Brazilians when they came over to Europe for the Winter Olympics. First time a lot of them had seen snow. They didn't like it. They didn't like the cold, and I'm sure Almeida will feel exactly the same. I must say it was the Youth Winter Olympics in Europe, of course. Alas, we digress. Almeida shortens his strides and gets a white flag. 4:88 in the last round. God, he looks wet through, doesn't he? But is that a little bit of sunshine glistening? You can see his reflection mirrored in the track. Hopefully that'll be the weather turning for the better for the rest of the weekend as Asa Almeida awaits his fate. 4:88 in round 4. What's he got in round 5? 4:91! An improvement in round 5 for Almeida. And finally, as he chases down 5 metres, he's got an improvement. Jorge Gonzalez next, leading in the T13 classification ahead of Olaf Ryberg. He managed to launch himself 5:71 the last time. Proper skip and a jump before setting off this time. White flag. This'll count. But is it a jump worth counting? Is it more than 5:71? Not if that body language is anything to go by. Is that him saying he won't take his final jump, perhaps? Oh, 4:91. 5:55, okay. 5:55, and I think that might be the last time we see Gonzalez. I think he's had enough of the cold. And if he's pleased enough with 5:71, who can blame him? One man who hasn't had enough is Joel de Jong, so much so that he's sprinting into position. 6:33. He sets his marker back just a little bit so as not to overstep it this time. Joel de Jong. God, he gathers speed and power quickly, doesn't he? He's got a huge smile on his face as well. He's great to watch, Joel de Jong. He's going to be straight in there now talking to the officials. Just watch him. Wants to be the first to know his score as he gets the white flag. He's not sure though. 6:33 is what he's aiming to beat. Oh, he's loving being here. And Joel, we're loving having you as well. Top man. 6:33 for Joel de Jong. And 5:93 that time. So 40 centimetres short. Still a good day at the office for the young Dutchman. That was his final jump, look, jump number 6. Now, Olaf Ryberg. Can he better Jorge Gonzalez? Oh, that was a 5:93. Yeah, 5:93. God, what Ryberg would give you for a 5:93 now. 5:71's what he's chasing down. Olaf Ryberg in the T13. Jorge Gonzalez, the current leader Ryberg struggled a bit with his range. Has he got one away this time? No, red flag for Ryberg. Disappointing end to the competition for the Swede. Last jump then for Almeida, 491. We've seen him jump. Oh, has he got another 9 centimetres? 5 metres in the tank for a T38 would be absolutely fabulous. He's been pretty hard on himself as well. And he's not got it right. Been very vocal. Everyone hoping that he does get it right this time. White flag. But what is the distance for the Brazilian? 496, an improvement in the final round for Almeida, who's got better and better and better after a difficult start to the competition. The only T38 in the finals, so as long as he registered the jump he would have won, but 496, great way to finish, a 5 centimetre improvement on the 491 that he jumped in the penultimate round. Well, day one drawing to a close here in Nottwil. Thank you for joining us in sunshine and in rain. It's been a real pleasure to bring the athletics to you in this Para Athletics Grand Prix. We'll be back Saturday and Sunday, bringing you as much track and field access as we can. If you've watched, if you'd enjoyed, make sure you tell your friends. Hopefully, those grey skies will be blue. Those flags that are blowing in the distance will be still in the calm air, and we'll be able to bring you maybe more records, maybe more great performances. But what I can guarantee you is a full weekend of athletics. So thank you very much for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, and I look forward to spending more time with you all tomorrow. Goodbye.